Hi, I'm Maggie Mestrich, the Director of Business Development for the Carmel Swim Club and the Carmel Swim Academy. We share stories and experiences from our Carmel Swim Club alumni as a way to demonstrate the incredible, long-lasting impact that swimming, and specifically swimming with Carmel Swim Club, can have on your life. Today, I am talking with Harrison Wagner. Hi, Harrison. Wagner. Hi, Harrison.
Hi, Maggie.
How are
How are
you?
you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Is
Excited
it
to talk.
is it sunny out in California today?
It is sunny. We had a rare day of rain yesterday, though, which
Oh,
was exciting.
you know, I wish. All right, are you ready? You ready to dive in? Pardon the pun.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. Can you place yourself in the context of Carmel swimming? When did you join? How long did you do it? All that fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I joined Carmel Swim Club in sixth grade
Okay.
after like begging my parents to let me do it. And then swam all through high school. Did not swim for Carmel High School swim team, swam for Buff Jesuit high school team, but was on club through all of that. And yeah.
So why did you have to beg your parents? What was the resistance?
They I'm probably missing some details,
You were in
but
sixth grade. It's okay.
I was in sixth grade. From my perspective, it was an issue of like I was already playing all these sports. Like
Mhm.
this was, in their words, like a bigger commitment than I realized. Like it was going to be all these practices. I think mostly they were worried I'd get too spread thin because I was a hockey player,
Yeah.
track and field, soccer, lacrosse, like all these sports. I was playing like a school sport and a club sport, and
Mhm.
I wanted to do swimming on top of it. But I really love swimming, and my neighborhood swim team that I started swimming for when I was like five, a lot of those people involved in that, coaches, other swimmers, were Carmel Swim Club people.
Okay.
And so I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. I wanted to be faster for the neighborhood meets. And then, yeah, eventually I started in I believe it was the Dolphins group at the
Yeah.
time.
At that point, it probably was. Was it with Chris Chen?
It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was Dolphins. I think that's now for people who are with the club now. It's the imagination level is what that's called now. So everything
Oh, that's
changed.
a good name.
I
Yeah.
know it's kind of fun. So where are you now geographically? We touched on California, but professionally, personally, anything that you want to share?
Yeah. So I'm in Los Angeles, like you said, working at a startup called Scratch Pay. We do some cool stuff with lending. And in the startup, I've worked a bunch of different jobs. It's a smaller company. But most recently, I've been working in credit risk, which is a bunch of data and analysis on our borrowers.
All right, very cool. Okay, we talked a little about kind of your summer league swimming, but can you share some of your earliest memories of being around the water? It doesn't have to be connected to competitive swimming. If it is, that's great. It's just whatever you remember.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about this one. I like one of my earliest memories just generally is like the first time I can remember going into the deep end for like a
Yeah.
YMCA swim lesson where I was like fully, suited up with floaties and everything to keep me on top of the water.
Okay.
Uh, but I remember like putting my head down, just like it's so deep to the bottom. Um, and then, yeah, I mean, neighborhood swim team was a lot of my early water memories.
Yeah.
Lived like five houses down from that pool,
Okay.
um, and was always so excited to go there.
So did you kind of do the thing where you'd go for your neighborhood swim team practice in the morning and then just camp out at the pool pretty much for the rest of the day and live there?
Yeah, if we were lucky. I remember it being a big deal. I forget what the age was, but there was like some age where you could go by yourself without
Oh.
a parental guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I remember like counting down the years until that happened.
Awesome. Can you identify, once you made that leap in sixth grade, what the most significant lesson that you learned during your time with Carmel Swim Club is?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. There's so many. Um, like the value of hard work and setting goals and just like working toward achieving those things. But I think the one that like serves me most often is this thing of like getting along with other people, not only like getting along with them, but like building each other up, learning how to compete with each other in like a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really been helpful for professional life, relationships, just everything.
Awesome. Do you have any advice or insights that you would offer to current swimmers?
Yeah, I thought I'd share. I got this quote when I was on the junior team right after senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, like the schedules were that we had Frank Bush as our coach for the team rather than Jack Roach. And so Frank Bush was normally like the national team coach,
Yep.
big guy, cool guy. Um, he he had this quote like in the middle of the meet where he's like, "Don't let expectation be the poison of the moment." And I always thought that was really great, and it applies on like the macro, the micro of like, don't get in your head about how you're swimming in like a practice or across a season or even a championship meet. Don't let the expectation of what you should be doing at that time kill the moment that's happening and your appreciation for that moment. Like that meet in particular, I did not swim well at, but it was super enjoyable. I learned a lot. I got to go to Peru. Had never been to South America before. So there are a lot of great things about that meet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that quote. I've never heard that before. And shoot, I could use that in my daily life now in a big way. That's great.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody who was thinking about joining Carmel Swim Club?
Yeah. I would definitely like piggyback on, I think something I said earlier about like the getting along with people, like the community. It's impossible to overstate how great the community is. And a lot of the people I swam with at Carmel Swim Club are my friends to this day that I keep in touch with. Some of them on a daily basis or like weekly, monthly. Yeah, and it's really gratifying. I was going to ask a question about this one though. Is bring a friend to practice still a thing?
Oh gosh, I don't know that it is officially. I think currently we're under some pretty strict protocols still.
Oh yeah.
We're monitoring how many kids are in the facility at a time. Everybody's in masks until they jump into the pool. So I know at least for the last year, and we've only been back in our pool since July 1st. So I know some of that has been limited, but once things loosen back up here, later this year, I'll have to ask, did you do bring a friend to practice day?
Yeah, I thought it was an official thing. I don't really know.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely watched at least one practice and then even hopped in the water for at least one practice before I joined the club.
Okay.
It was from the neighborhood swim team.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Styes brought me, the Nocos brought me. When you're a kid and yeah.
Did you bring anybody?
I never returned the favor, I don't think.
Okay. Well, maybe someday you can hop back in as a master swimmer and bring a friend to practice.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. This has been a question. You don't have to share just one. You can share it whatever you would like. But do you have a favorite 1, 2, 3, or 5 Carmel swimming memories that you'd like to go through?
Yeah. Well, I've got one in particular. I don't think it's been shared. And it's about the time that Chris Plum, who's now, what's his official title?
Head coach and CEO.
Head coach and CEO Chris Plum had to swim on our relay at nationals my senior year.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. And so I forget when he like first started like working out more and more, but he was working out. He was like getting back in shape. He was doing some GH circuits on his own, and he's like, yeah, I think, we qualified for the relay time, but we don't have 4 guys. We have three guys here.
Right.
So if I hop on the relay, we'll be able to swim the relay. Mm-hmm. And it was me, Matt Girth, and John Stye were the 3 guys. And we were like, yeah, we'd love to do relays. That'd be really awesome if we could do a relay with our coach.
Yeah.
And so he's went on the relay. And that was, I think the relay did well. Plum had a actually like really solid 50 freestyle time.
He held his own.
Yeah, held his own. But the best part of the story is John, Matt, and I were like cooling down after a warm up or maybe prelims, and we're hanging out in the Ohio State like huge like line of showers where you can like draw a curtain so you can't see anybody, but you're talking like across the hall, like, hey, Matt, blah, blah, blah. Hey, John, blah, blah, blah. And they can hear you, but so can everybody else in the showers.
Right.
And we're 17, 18-year-olds just having a funny conversation. And the conversation turns to like, oh, wow, like, did you see Plum out there? He's got that old man strength. Like, I really didn't think he had it in him. He's doing better than we thought. Like, mm-hmm. And really harping on how old he was. In hindsight, that conversation became important. But I think when we left the showers, we would have never thought about that conversation again until we go to get in the van to head back home. And
to the Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah.
Right in Columbus.
Exactly. Plum turns to us. He just goes, you gotta be careful about what you say in the showers. And we're like, oh no. He heard it all. And then we're like playing the conversation back in our heads. Like, did we say something really bad? Like, no, I think we just talked about how old he was. He really showed us. I like to think we inspired him because he went faster after that.
Oh, you have to. If you're willing to do something like that, you got to be able to back it up. That's for sure. That's for sure. I'm going to jump in for a second because you are the subject of it's actually not one of my favorite memories, but it's probably one of my most teachable moments as a coach, which was pretty foundational for me. I got to run the club lane for a little bit during high school season. And there was a practice. You probably were a junior because I'm pretty sure Daniel was there as well. So this was my first year coaching with Carmel Swim Club or Carmel High School. And I didn't really know you. I just knew that you like to come in and sprint and go fast. And we hadn't had some good conversations where I didn't know how intellectual you were. I didn't know you. And I made an assumption. And there was a set, I'm pretty sure it was 4 800s. And I was like, Harrison, you're going to have to suck it up and just do it. And you're like, I'm not just going to just do it. I'm going to kill this set. And it was such a teaching moment for me as a coach, just to not judge and not make those assumptions and just to really make sure I could get to know an athlete. And even if I did know an athlete, not to presume anything about what they were going to be able to do within a workout. I do think you were really tired when it was done, but it was, you went for it, and it was just, it helped shape the rest of my time coaching, and I really appreciated it. So thank you.
Wow. Yeah. I will say I remember that a little differently.
I bet you do. Okay.
I remember it. I don't think it was like a club lane practice. Okay. I want to say it was like everybody was combined. So it was out of high school season.
Okay.
I remember it as this like killer set was coming up, and I was stressed out about it because I knew which lane I was in that day.
Okay.
And then you came up to me and asked if it wouldn't be like a good idea if I switched lanes to a slower interval.
Oh, I think I did. Yes.
And then at that point I was like, oh, yeah, like I'm going to stay and tough it out. Mm-hmm. So you inspired me that day. Is how I remember it.
I feel a little better now because I think I've been holding on to this and feeling bad about it for a decade. So. I'm glad we're able to move forward. Whatever really happened is probably somewhere in the middle of our recollection.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get back to really focusing on you. Do you think there's anything that people might be surprised to learn about Carmel Swim Club?
Yeah, I was thinking about this one. I was like, what are fun facts that I know? Which, like, plum swimming on a relay was one. Another one was that there used to be that pool behind Carmel Middle School.
Yeah.
Or that there used to be bring a friend to practice. I don't know if that was an official program.
I'm going to have to dig into that and see if that was really something. Okay.
Or you could do that as an option.
We might need to start.
The more real one, and that I remember being surprised about while swimming, was that like your coaches are like out there advocating for you. Like toward the end of high school, I was still, up until the end of junior year, I was still like this multi-sport athlete, dividing my time between different sports. And junior year, at least back then, was when colleges would start reaching out. Like you'd have conversations.
Yeah.
I'd be having these conversations and learning like secondhand through the college coach that I was talking to that they had talked to, like yourself or Plum, about me. And that was really great and helped a ton in the college search, especially for a guy like me who was like split across different sports. And like there's like more of a story there than just the times I was swimming. And yeah, I really appreciated it back then and appreciate it now. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else that you want to add or share today?
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing this interview has made me think about is just how much of a gift the Carmel Swim Club community is. And I'm thankful for that constantly. Yeah, it's a real gift.
I agree. I think so too. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Harrison.
Thank you.
You're welcome.